Here our chapter number first has completed. Now we will summarize this chapter and we will move for the exercise. For summarizing, I will show you the both manner from the textbook also I will show you, and one video I will show you which will give you a pictorial representation of it, which will help you to understand that. We have seen there is a huge diversity in living organisms, and they are differ in size, shape, color. Among that, we have broadly categorized them into plants and animals. Then we have seen the adaptation. A gradual changes occur in the body part and also in the behavior of organism, which help them to adjust to their surrounding, is called as adaptation. This definition also I told you to write. After that, we have seen the adaptation in plants, as they have to be in a water, aquatic animals plants. Then they contain a vexillia. Their shapes, some are the submerged under the water, some are floating entirely, and some are the underwater. They contain vexillia. Because of this, into their stomata water cannot be entered, and they will not rot into the water. Then we have seen desert plants. In a region of a desert, there is a scarcity of water, so the plants need to store the water for a long duration. So there is a less evaporation of water among them, and they are leafless. Their leaves are converted to the small needle-like structure thorns. They are green and fleshy. In snowy region, we have seen they are having the conical shape so that the ice will not gather on them, the snow will not gather on them. In a case of adaptation of a plant in a forest region, we have seen that there is a competition among themselves for the sunlight, and as because of that they grow high and high, and with them even the climbers can be growing high. In adaptation of grassland plant, we have seen the diverse bushes and grasses are found in a grassland. As per their size, as per the size of them, the type of animals take the shelter under them. Next, we have seen adaptation for ingestion of food in animals. As all the plants are not autotroph, there is some adaptation is made among them so that they can survive. In this, we have seen the three examples: Cuscuta, Venus flytrap, and fungi. They are not autotroph plants. They are unable to make their own food. In a case of Cuscuta, they having hostile sucking roots which will be penetrate into the conducting vessels of host, and from that they will keep getting their food, minerals, water. In a case of fungi, they have found on a starchy product like a bhakri and bread. In a case of Venus flytrap, I told you, they resolve their deficiency of nitrogen with the help of insects. Then in adaptations in animals, we have broadly categorized them in aquatic, grassland, and a desert and forest. In a case of aquatic, we have took example of fish, duck, and frog. We saw that there is spindle shape. Because of that, the water current resistance will be reduced and they can swim easily. Their body is a lightweight. They contain hollow bones and spindle shape. In a case of frog, we see they breathe with nose and lungs on a land and with the skin under the water. The frog is example of amphibian. Duck and frog contain the webbed toes, a oars-like structure. In a case of grassland animal, we see mainly two types, carnivorous and herbivorous. Adaptation among them animals is made in a such a way so the carnivorous will capture their prey easily. And in a case of herbivorous, the adaptation is made in a such a way so that they can protect themselves from the carnivorous animals. In adaptation in desert animal, we have saw as that we have saw in plants also, there is a scarcity of water, so their skins are thick. In example, we have took the camel. Their skin is thick, their nostrils are fold, and their eyelashes are long and thick. They have the long legs as well, cushioned sole they are having. This adaptation we have saw in desert animal. In snowy, we have saw the adaptation. We took the example yak, polar bear, such example which we took, and their color is white. They have a long thick hairy hair on their body, which prevent the cold and keep their body warm. In the case of aerial animal, we saw that they also have a spindle shape, so there is a minimize the resistance of air while flying. They contain the hollow bones, and their they contain the pair of wings, which with the help of that they can fly. In this we also saw the example of bat. The bat can fly with the patricium, which is the thin fold of skin between their foreleg and hind leg that we have seen. In a case of reptiles, we have seen they contain the claws as well, that is the nails as well. And in a case of monitor lizard, we have saw that there is some adaptation made among them, so that in such a manner so that they can hide among the grasses and plant part. Some are the animals like a snake, they crawl with the scale. Some are using the muscles to crawl. In adaptation of for the food in animals, we have saw that such a adaptation is made so that their feeding will get easier. After that, we have saw that about the scientist Charles Darwin and its two theories of survival. First we see survival of fitness, second we have seen natural selection. In a case of survival of fitness, we saw that those who will be adapt to their changing environment, they will only can survive, is the first rule. And next, the species which will born with the new beneficial characteristics, and if they survive, that changes will be preserved into the next generation. It's called as natural selection that we have seen. In the classification of living organism, we see that there is a need of classification. What is the need of classification? So that we can study the vast number of living organisms properly. The basic category is the starts with the kingdom, and kingdom will be Animalia and Plantae. After the phylum is the group which is smaller than the kingdom and larger than the class category. Then order, family, genus and species. Like this, hierarchy of classification is made. After that, we have seen binomial nomenclature by Carl Linnaeus. In that we have seen that nomenclature is nothing but giving a two names to the organisms, a scientific name to the organism which contains the first part as genus, and second part as species that we have seen. Okay, now you just see one video, then we will start with our exercise.
Basis of classification. We have already discussed that the diversity of living beings on Earth has evolved slowly. Variety is so diverse that we can study all of the species one by one in a lifetime. So we try to find out the similarities among the organisms so that we can keep them into different classes, groups, genera or species and then study them. This grouping is known as classification. Why do we actually need classification is a big question. We have some points to make it clear. Classification makes the study of a wide variety of organisms easy. Classification is the tool by which one can deal with great diversity of living forms. Classification projects before us a picture of all life forms at a glance. Classification is essential to understand the interrelationships among different groups of organisms. Classification forms a base for the development of the other biological sciences. Do you all know that it was Aristotle, 384 to 322 BC, also known as father of zoology, who for the first time classified animals into two groups? Animals that can fly, that live in air. Animals unable to fly, that live on land or water. Main drawback of Aristotle's classification was that altogether different organisms were placed in same group and similar organisms were placed in separate groups. Like corals, whales, octopuses, starfish, and sharks are entirely different animals living in sea. So there is need to decide what characteristics should be considered for classifying living organisms. Do you know what is characteristics? I think it is a particular form or a particular function of an organism. These characteristics should be interrelated. Some of them are as follows. Cell structure, unicellular or multicellular, autotrophic or heterotrophic, level of organization, and body design.